What's up, spectators? This is potentially the last video. I feel like we're so close to the end that I should just go all out and no matter how long it takes, just make this one last video. Because it's already been a couple weeks of just this one. I think it's been a couple weeks for this series. Oh, also, I had this really adorable chibi art, and I was bored one night and I decided to make a phone cover out of it, so it should be displaying somewhere on the screen. It's for my iPhone 4. If you guys want it as well, you can use it for your phones. It's pretty adorable. And it's a shame because I started using these, what I randomly coined as K-Sensei, as little fun facts and tips that I've started using in my Persona Q series. And since this is going to be the last episode, it's going to be the only time I can really use my character for it. I'm going to use it in another, okay, you know what? It's already been a minute. I'm just going to shut up, and we're just going to go. My fear of the moon rock. Last time, we talked how Fulbright was afraid that the moon rock would reveal his identity, and we got to figure out why. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all! So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice! And there you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock? Oh, he's so mean looking when he does that. He looks so mean. Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any 2-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. The Phantom is like the mist, no flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it. Right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I. PB. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts. Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the dark age of the law. Then it is also our burden to cut away the foul specter we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. Trust? Understanding? Ha! Fragile ideals of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies always. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom.
Hold it!
It only reminded you of the Phantom? Don't make me laugh. You are the Phantom! Evidence is everything in a court of law. Or did you forget? I was forced to testify over a silly thing like feelings. But those tactics won't work from here on out. You need real evidence. I hate to admit it, but he's right. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage.
Hold it!
Your family? Like, who in your family specifically? Oh, I don't know. Like, maybe my lover, for example? For example? Maybe? We need a more concrete answer than that. Maybe my mother? My son? Or my daughter? Maybe it was all of them. I'm so sad and worried. I miss them so much. He's obviously lying. Look how upset I am. Is it any wonder I followed the Phantom's orders? He's not even trying anymore. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all.
Hold it!
You can't think of a single reason that the Phantom might be afraid of the rock. I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How could someone like me, with my wealth of emotions, be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting blown big. I'm willing to bet that the moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? His blood! I said that before. It's got his blood on it. Maybe the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock. Or fingerprints, I guess, but fingerprints can't, yeah, it's blood. Maybe. Then maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drooled on it and left his DNA. DNA! Blood! We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. It's blood, goddammit! Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. He got stabbed. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him.
Hold it!
And how afraid are you exactly? I'm so scared I start to shake even when I see the moon in the sky. Do you shake when you see Miss Cykes' earring? Well, to be honest, since the very first time I met Miss Cykes, I felt more than a little frightened of her. I guess some people just inspire that much fear in others. Mr. Wright, you were thinking something mean-spirited and rude, weren't you? Ha ha! Of course! Yes, must beef up mind-reading defenses. Now do you understand? The very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock proves that. In fact, I'm on the side of... there's no point in pressing this. Or is there? I'll press it anyways. After all that you've done, how dare you speak the word justice? I'll say it as much as I want with absolute confidence. Whatever I say is just. That's how it works in this dark age of the law. He won't get the best of me with that twisted argument of his. I'll find a way to get him right where I want him. Oh. Detective Fulbright, or rather, the Phantom, feels fear in regard to the moon rock. It probably has something to do with being afraid that his true identity will be revealed. Yes, that's like the 5th time everyone said that. So that's why the Phantom had to take the moon rock with him 7 years ago. In that case, if we had something to show the real cause of Fulbright's fear, we just might be able to expose his true identity. Okay, so we know exactly what statement to press on. We just gotta figure out how to tie in the blood with his hand wound, which is, where was that? I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. This one. Something to deal with. The males use one of these to stab the hand. Okay, that's the best bet so far, other than the actual rock, which I don't think is evidence. Crime scene 7 years ago. Wait, isn't this stolen? We haven't used this yet. Stone was cut from a real moon rock. How does this tie in? Somehow it's gotta be important, I just don't know how yet. Unless it's like, oh, this was made from the same moon rock that was stolen while his blood was on it, or some nonsense. Lighter with the thing. Why is this still here? Being analyzed. Oh, because the 7K moon rock part. Wow, that's really been here in a long time. All right, we know what to do.
Objection!
Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course, that's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Terran. That's right, and the exact same type of knife Miss Cykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The rain is gone. The knife went into the back of his hand. Miss Cykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock. And he was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean, if we ran the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is? Yes, I suppose so. But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so. But I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course. Not. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. What this court needs is a bully-free zone. The infamous sword of the beguiling bluff. Its edges without compare. Also, I do have a question. If this will be the last episode, I might as well get it out now. I do have plans to play, oh god, I mentioned it in a couple episodes ago, but that DS game, that's planned, it's gonna happen. But I also purchased the original trilogy of this game, of the Ace Attorneys, the first 3 Ace Attorneys. Would you be interested in watching them? Or how enthusiastic would you be to see that? Because it's a lot a lot of cases. It's not as long as this game, but it'll be like a few hundred episodes. I just don't know. In any case, I'll keep going. I feel like because if this will be the last episode, I really gotta get these questions out now. Its edges without compare. Come now, ready it with me, and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage! Go on, Wright Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. You're right. But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Yeah, he would have put it in the Hope capsule, then the Hope capsule launched, and then it came back a couple days ago, which is why he had to steal it back. That's what it is. All that in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered old leaf through those checkpoints. Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. Impossible? And why's that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab. But the moon rock was never found. 'Cause it was in space. Duh! A sad but true fact, we still haven't a grasp on how it was done. But the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. And it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think. It's very frustrating when I know the answer, but he doesn't. Stupid Phoenix. Stupid Phoebe! How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? So, can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can. Your honor. Oops, sorry. I mean... In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene? Boom! That was easy. That's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Hat 1 rocket. He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. So there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day. Yes, and the team must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. Oh, I also completely forgot to say, I will also, I don't know if I'll be playing the trilogy or not, but I will definitely be playing the Layton Ace Attorney crossover. That's also next. That and the Dead Detective game should be coming up around the same time. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock would have been launched up into space along with the rocket. Yes. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. Space! It was out there in the depths of space! Aboard the Hope space probe! Whoa, 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 whoa. Order! I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat One anyway. The villain, he used his primary objective to conveniently kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's right, he planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission and returned 7 years later, with the capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So, he killed Clay just so we can get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung on to that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh. You really do. Boy, he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit to it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I am not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes, a trap. Now I'm not sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, a trap is not out of the question.
Objection!
But in that case, you could say anything is a trap. That's what makes a trap a trap. I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order.
Silence.
Further investigation? More like plotting your escape. But no more! I will bring you to justice myself if I must, here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell! Hey, you guys aren't really... It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth. I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I have uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started out by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All 3, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems. But none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. That's not good. But there's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackwell, you'd best brace yourselves. Oh, I'm braced. Oh, I'm all super hard braced. Like a beached whale, I'm braced. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then does this mean... Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. An imposter! Then this man, who in the world is he? Enough of your trickery. If you will not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you. What the hell? His face? Don't you tell me he's a robot. Don't you freaking tell me. No, I don't believe. No, he's not a robot. No. Look at you to my mask. That is a cool mask. What is the meaning of this, witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. What the hell? What the hell? Tom Cruise? Oh! What? What? Hell no! What? It's Solomon Starbuck! Mr. Starbuck, but that can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you?
Silence.
What the hell? Am I supposed to name this the real big reveal? The biggest reveal? The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat 1, which was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another No, what? I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want.
Objection!
Not so fast. I have the Phantom psych profile right here. If we compile a psych profile on you and compare the results, it will prove that you're the Phantom. What? What? It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. No! No! You are not gonna be Professor Means. No, you are not. That voice. Those words. No, shut up. You shut your mouth. What is this nonsense? I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Professor Means? Mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now give me that evidence. Huh? Time to take out the trash. Or, wait, what's this voice supposed to be? Time to take... No. Time to take... Oh, I don't remember what it is anymore. How could you? Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence.
How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face.
Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all.
Or perhaps it is really the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in a mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I'd wager.
Well, aren't you the master of psychology, Blackwell? That's right. I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss.
What's with this guy? Is he even still human?
And now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright.
Oh,
I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom.
I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright. Your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore.
Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope Capsule?
I think I will do just that. Get ready, because the Hope Capsule is about to seal your...
Fuck!
It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. It looks like you finally caught on.
Well, full marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame for your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion.
So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed?
How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, Right Dodo. I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. And yet, is it really gone without a trace? No, because we have an earring! What if some tiny part or some tiny earring still exists on Athena in her ear? Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. Or in the, oh! No, wait, the evidence! The phony Fanty bomb evidence. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Yes. It's in the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove Phantom's identity? Phony Fanty bomb.
Take that!
Phony Panty bomb. Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom? And the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing. Specifically right here. Here!
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the Hat One. Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there is a rock-like object with the same coloration. Oh my! Yes, I see it. It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom.
Unbelievable. But that's impossible.
A surprise, to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, fool Bright. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. He's bluffing. They confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the Phantom.
Objection!
Oh, hell no. Who did that? Apollo? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? That was Phoenix? No, I didn't say a word. He's imposing, no. He's pretending to be me! That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Oh, hell yes. Woo! Yeah! Why? It was a pretty good objection too, don't you think? Now it's me? So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright. Could this trial get any more insane? Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph, and those just like it. I love that. The name is Phoenix? How could you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? The earring! This is the time for the earring. Boom! Earring, go! Yes! Huh, throw it at him! Throw it at Phoenix too. Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove they're the moon rock, right?
Objection!
Oh! Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be there. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We could ask an expert to verify if they were from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are from, you'd need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. It's your earring, stupid! It's your earring! Ah! Some people. There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do. Even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this! But just about the only things my mother left me with are widget and this earring. Maybe she did love me in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defense's sample of the moon rock.
Take that!
That's your sample? This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time? It was right here all along? God, I can't wait for the next Ace Attorney. The prequel one? No, it can't be. If the composition of the bombed fragments and the earrings are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results showed that the blood on the fragment was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now, even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all of my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. Nothing! No love, no trust. Loser! And I suppose you do? I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me, couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself? How could I run from myself? When there's nothing inside. Nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand. But people have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so, people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? The fear inside of me? Is this... No. Oh! Oh! Oh God! That's creepy as hell. I'm scared. I feel fear. Oh my God, his eyeballs are creeping me out. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. My own true face? No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. Take it off. Take it off. I don't have one! My face! My face! No, you're not Tonate. No way. No way. Oh, there you go. Perfect. It's La Belle. Is this my face? Is it? No, that's not it. No. This isn't me either. Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? Oh yeah, Jinxie. his mask's back on. A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective Fulbright? I mean, his imposter doing? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence Wright Dono submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragments with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present. The bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Torture time. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Thanks, Peanut Butter. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. Are you telling me we don't get to see his real face? What? Will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honor. You get your butt back over there. You're going to jail. With that monster guy. Now then, this court finds the defendant Athena Cykes. Oh my god, this is the last confetti we're gonna see in the longest time ever. This is it. This is freaking it. This episode is long as hell. Court is adjourned. Oh my god. Half a year. Wait, has it been half a year since it started? August? September? How long when did my first video come out? Oh my god, it's been a long time. Oh my god, I can't believe some of you have watched all of them. You're amazing. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls. And thank you for being there for Athena. It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Oh wait, Father, that's right. Trucy, are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, Father. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up. That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Right. I fear I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the ones who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to its successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? This should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the dark age of the law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. so I should smile more. Eh? I'll think about it. Ah, the complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Athena. Oh. It's PB. I am forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Just barely. But I still made it. That a girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth thanks to you. Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, it looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Wright Anything Agency. Well, nobody's gonna try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many more people out there who need our help. You're right, and I'll be needing you both to help them. We still have a long way to go. Well, apparently not, because the game series is over and we may never see Phoenix again, which is so depressing. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, if we ever hope to fully bring the dark age of the law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles. Oodles noodles, baby. Come on. Nothing like a bowl of Eldune's noodles after a trial. Oh, that's right, it's Eldune. Oodles? What the hell is Oodles noodles? Eldune's noodles. That's how it works at the Wright Anything Agency. Right, Mr. Wright? Too many rights. Huh? Who? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. Huh? Huh? I have an idea, Father. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman? Seriously, where the hell's... Oh yeah, Maya's training. I completely forgot. Guys? Under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Oh. Oh! Keeping with tradition. We all know what he's gonna say. Only if I get to join in. Here it comes. Here it comes. I want to say it too. Here it comes. His last one ever.
Objection!
Oh my god. 100 and something episodes. I was trying to think of something nice, something. Whoops. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. You think I should have found him a few legal cases? No, that's okay. This is the Wright Anything Agency after all. Wow, they're making me read really fast. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna read the others. I'll just let it go in the background. You can read it, and I'll just talk. No, maybe I should read it. I don't know. You know what? I think I'll just talk over this because... okay. Wow, this is almost an hour long. Can you believe it? Oh, I thought this series would never end, and I kind of wanted it not to, because it was so good. It's without a doubt the longest series I've done, the most popular series I've done, and it was so fun talking with all of you guys for 100 and something episodes of this. Oh my God, we were children when this started, but now we are grown men and women. But it's not over, because I have plans to play the Layton Phoenix crossover and that detective game. But also, I do have a surprise thank you video, which is going to be completely different. And this is a Thursday, so hopefully I'll have it finished and ready by tomorrow for Friday. Because it's not you know, we'll see how it goes. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Can you believe it? Leave it? Oh, screw you, Filch. You deserve to be in prison. Oh, yeah. I think one of my biggest fears is, a lot of you are going to be gone since the series is over. But then again, we always have the next Ace Attorney that comes out this year. I mean, it's January of 2015, but it will come out eventually this year. Hopefully it'll be translated soon, because I'm going to get my hands on that thing day one. And we get to play against Sherlock Holmes and all that wonderful stuff. Was that the third case? It's over. I'm sad that it's over. now it's officially over. So this is what I'm gonna call it. We did it. We beat it over so many videos. So many weekends spent playing and recording this game. Oh, but don't worry. This is just the beginning. There's so much more to come. You will see. And until then, stay tuned for the next something. Bye-bye!
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!